Croods, which I believe came out all the way in 2013. In this movie, you have a lot of the returning voice cast. You have Nicolas Cage, Ryan Reynolds, Emma Stone. In this movie, the Croods are still on their, cavemen adventures until along the way, they arrive in this new land where they meet this family known as the Bettermans, who claim to be more evolved, more advanced. These two families are clashing with each other a little bit, and then hilarity ensues, and that's in the movie. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the Croods animation, the original one, I haven't seen that. That's among those movies that just slid under my radar. I never ended up seeing it. So going into the Croods: A New Age, I was like, alright, am I going to understand everything? Will I need to have seen the first one in order to get it? But what I love that this movie did, which is what a lot of sequels should do but very rarely do, is they tell you the backstory of what happened in the first one, how we got to here. Boom, now everybody gets it. But getting into the actual movie itself, what I appreciate that this movie does is just the areas it does touch on. First of all, it's relatable for a lot of families. Notably, I think any father with a daughter will get this movie to an extent, because in this movie you have Ryan Reynolds and Emma Stone's characters. They're still forming their relationship, and they want to go start their own lives. Nicolas Cage being her father and being the leader of this Croods clan. He's not ready to just let her go. No dad wants to see his girl grow up and leave. Also, gotta say this right now, I really liked seeing the dynamic between the Croods and the Bettermans, because I did think it really represented what society can be like nowadays. You got two groups of people from two different lifestyles or backgrounds or whatever it might be, and then you put them together, and, well, obviously they don't get each other. One group of people is used to this lifestyle, another is used to that lifestyle, another is used to doing this, and one's used to being like that. And of course, they're gonna clash, they're gonna fight about it, being like, no, our lifestyle is the best. It's like, no, people should follow our way of life. This is the right way. It's totally representative to exactly what the world has become today, between the liberals and the conservatives, and everyone just battling over each other over how everyone should live their life and how everyone should think. I like that they slid that in there. Maybe that's not entirely what they were going for, but it's what I took away from it. And the movie is actually really funny. I mean, all the characters are great, the voice acting's awesome, and what I really love seeing is the way they kind of poke fun at how people are nowadays, or really like how we've come so far with our own technology, and the way they make fun of it in the movie. Just to give you guys a brief example, there's one character, one of the Croods. Just to give you guys an example, the Croods' son, when they meet the Bettermans, he discovers the window and how you can just look out the window and you can watch everything that's going on. It's meant to make fun of how kids are when they watch TV. It's like when kids discover TV for the first time, they're glued to it, they're addicted to it. They will throw tantrums when they gotta be taken away from the TV, and he's throwing a tantrum when he can't look at the window anymore. I thought that was funny. It was exactly how I would picture a kid being in front of a TV, because I know I was like that as a kid. In fact, I'm not so sure if I've really grown out of that. One of the areas I appreciate with this movie too is how a lot of these big voice actors, like Nicolas Cage, Ryan Reynolds, and Emma Stone, their characters really represented kind of who they are as actors. Nicolas Cage's character, he's way over the top. He's sometimes very obnoxious, and he is very funny in his delivery, just like Nicolas Cage. Ryan Reynolds' character, quick-witted, sarcastic, sometimes acts like he knows a little too much, and that gets him into trouble. And Emma Stone's character, she's very hot and cold. When she's cool, calm, and collected, it's like, alright, yeah, nothing's bothering me, I'm good. But when something triggers her, she goes off, and it's usually pretty funny when she does. As far as the flaws in this movie go, though, I will say, despite what I alluded to earlier about the area of, Nicolas Cage not wanting his daughter to go, or Nicolas Cage's character, I should say, there wasn't as much heart in this movie as I was hoping for. Or if there was, it didn't quite hit me to the core. Not certainly to the way a lot of great animated movies can. I know it's not fair for me to compare every movie to some of Pixar's best works, or DreamWorks' best works, or some of the best animated movies out there, but I can't help it, as a human being. You can't help but compare them, and when I look at some of those ones, they have emotional moments that just hit you like a brick wall. This movie was trying. I'm not going to say this movie didn't even make an attempt to show heart or anything like that, but I will say, when it did go for the heart, it didn't quite get to me the way I would have wanted it to. I also got to get into this little mini rant right now. If you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there is a scene, not really a scene, it's more of a segment, that kind of just beats you over the head with, a message that I'll just say this world has really shoved down our throats. Some people are entirely for it, and that's cool, that's fine. Some people watch this movie and love the message in it. And for me, I don't hate this message. But when it's pushed forward onto us the way this movie did, you know, you're kind of sitting there like, okay, you've had your moment of empowerment and equality and whatever you want to call it, but don't push it too hard. Don't completely shove it in our face and be really obnoxious with it. Do it the way Avengers Endgame did it. Have that one little scene that gets the targeted audience all jacked up and then quickly move on with the movie. This one didn't really do that. And now you all probably know what kind of message I'm talking about, which means I might get some hate and dislikes on this video, but I don't care because I'm me. Sorry. I'm not even really that sorry. But all in all, I will say, The Croods: A New Age, it's a really solid family movie. The fact that they were able to get the returning cast, as far as I know, back onto this project, I thought was great. I really loved the characters being voiced by certain actors. I liked seeing two different groups of people of two different lifestyles crossing paths and just learning to deal with one another. It's very well animated. The humor in this movie, when it hits, it actually really does hit. This is the kind of movie that I really think is meant for the whole family. This is not a kid's movie. This is a family movie. Kids are gonna have a blast with this movie, and adults, when they sit down and watch it, they will appreciate it too. They will enjoy it. Everyone can have a good time. So yeah, there you go. In the end, if you didn't see a movie over Thanksgiving weekend and your kids are just badgering you to get them out of the house because they're so sick of this lockdown COVID shit, you know, if you're cool with going back to the theaters, take them to see this with you. You'll all have a good time. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.